Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk Finding Contentment with Myself tops this year's Christmas list by Kendall Harvey. It's December, a month that means so many things to so many people. For me, it means family time, festive fun with friends, traditions, busyness, beautiful twinkling lights, Christmas movies, the miracle of the extravagant grace and love of God, Christmas music and presents. Every year, my two children, Brooks and Collins, write a letter to Santa, and he fills their stockings and gives them the big-ticket item they had been wishing for. This year, they are wishing for kittens. Yes, kittens plural. A kitten for each kid. This will definitely be a Christmas to remember. Seeing the joy of this season through their eyes makes me think about my childhood, my present, and my future. I am blessed to have more worldly possessions than I need, and there is hardly anything on my list of wants. This realization made me think about intangible gifts. The most obvious wish is the one I've had since I was diagnosed with Friedreich's ataxia, FA, in 2013, a cure for this disease. And while that will always be at the top of my wish list every year until that happens, I am setting my sights on a goal that is within my power to achieve this year. This year, my Christmas wish is to be content. Come what may, be it good times, bad times, injury, disease progression, new symptoms, treatments, or a cure, I wish for contentment in my circumstances. I wish to live in a state of satisfaction and happiness about my life, despite the highs and lows, the frustrations, expectations, fears, disappointments, and adaptations that come with living with a progressive neurological disease. I have let the heartache of FA shape my mood, perspective, and outlook too completely. It has been tarnishing my ability to find contentment in my life. I wish for the aspects of my life apart from FA such as motherhood, marriage, and friendships to feel contentment, despite the circumstances FA brings into my life, and however seasonal or permanent they may be. I wish that the rest of my circumstances would be less affected by the negativity that often follows my disease. Perhaps focusing on being content would become second nature and have a positive effect on my relationship with my failing body. I know that compartmentalizing the complex tapestry of my life is logistically impractical, seeing as my life and FA are intertwined, they are one and the same. I can't tuck FA into a neat little box. So, my goal is to be present in each moment and try to see the good in the things that surround me. If I can find contentment in these areas, then perhaps I might get my wish to find contentment in my life. Even with FA. I also know that no one is happy all the time, whether they have FA, or not. I am not naively wishing for delusional happiness 24/7. I just wish that I would be able to process my feelings about my circumstances to the point where I don't let them affect my perspective about other parts of my life. FA is cruel, heavy, and hard, so I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the good, in just the way that Philippians 4:8 describes. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. It doesn't say to ignore the other things, it just says to think about the good things. Spend time reveling in beauty instead of dwelling in darkness. I believe that if I can train my brain to do that, and add in some Christmas magic, I can find contentment. Then I will be prepared for whatever FA has in store for my future. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk Walker Buddy by Kendall Harvey. My kiddos each got a new kitten from Santa this year. Brooke's cat, Travis, loves to ride around on my walker so he can be a part of all of the action. He climbs up there all by himself. He is hilarious and my walker is substantially more cute these days. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk New Mobility Aid Blues by Kendall Harvey. This latest tool in my Friedreich's Ataxia mobility aid arsenal has me feeling blue. I have had a handful of minor falls getting out of bed lately, so my wonderfully supportive and handy husband installed this grab rail for me. While I'm thankful for the safety that it provides, I resent it. I resent that I need it. I resent that I have two ever-present and necessary mobility aids in my bedroom now. I resent that my serene and happy bedroom looks more like a hospital room now. Yet, as the print on my wall says, there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy. I will try to focus on those. I will try to adapt with grit and grace once again. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk The Balancing Act of FA by Kendall Harvey. I saw a meme a couple of months ago that said, I can either do a morning activity or an evening activity, I am too tired for both. I shared it with my friends, and we giggled because it was so true for all of us weary, overburdened mothers. The meme had another layer of truth for me this holiday season, however, and it was no longer funny. Beyond the experience I share with my friends as a tired mom, I also deal with Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, which increasingly makes me unable to do many activities at all. My family likes to celebrate big during the holidays, especially Christmas, and December is usually jam-packed with traditions like the Trail of Lights, Christmas sing-alongs, cookie decorating, ice skating, parties, and much more. As my FA symptoms have progressed in the last few years, I've often pushed myself too hard and have ended up catching a hellacious cold that rendered me bedridden at the end of the month. This year, I prioritized my health and intentionally didn't push myself to that breaking point. I focused on the quality of my holiday commitments versus the quantity. As bitter as I felt about it at times, I allowed myself to say no on many occasions. And it worked. I didn't get sick in December. But while my body wasn't defeated by the Christmas chaos this year, my spirit was. I was heartbroken at having to say no to activities that have brought me so much joy in past years, all so that I could stay home and rest. My kids suffered, 2, as they felt guilty about leaving me behind, so they frequently stayed home with me. While I felt incredibly blessed to be able to spend time with my sweet family, I would have preferred making magical memories with fun traditions. But I had to once again accept the reality that I'm not who I used to be. I can't be that busy, adventurous, outgoing person anymore. I have to remind myself that my disability doesn't take a Christmas break, it's always with me, demanding my consideration. Even if I could do an activity, I would need to weigh the cost. For example, if I do X activity now, will I be able to do Y and Z later? Which is more important? How mentally or physically exhausting will it be? Is it worth it? FA takes away a lot of joy, spontaneity, and adventure. I am often wrapped up in my own world, doing an internal FA-based risk analysis. As hard as my friends and family try to understand and sympathize, I can tell that they are hurt that I am forced to choose FA over spending time with them. What they don't know is that it hurts me 100 times more. I'm proud of myself for prioritizing my health and not pushing myself past my limits, but I can't help but wonder if my self-preservation has been worth it. I didn't get sick, but is it worth my sacrifices? Was it worth it to stay home to take a long, relaxing shower and eat leftovers in my pajamas instead of going out to dinner with my extended family? Was being able to rest truly more valuable than the laughs and togetherness? Is not getting sick more valuable than living life to the fullest? Making memories, sharing experiences, trying new things, and maintaining traditions are worth the effort. Life is worth the risk. But so is my health. I don't think I will ever completely master this balancing act. But that won't stop me from trying. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk The Pity of Strangers and the Love of Loved One by Kendall Harvey. I often think about the pity that is expressed to people with disabilities, people like me. I am an obviously disabled young woman, and my Friedreich's ataxia, FA, is on full display, making me a regular recipient of unsolicited pity. Some people stop and stare, some whisper to their companions, and others just give polite smiles. Whether that pity is expressed outright, compassionately tiptoed around, or spoken in whispered conversations, I see it. I see people studying me, trying to put a name to my awkward gait and dependency on a walker. I field questions and concerned exclamations in a tone and manner that matches the tone and manner they were offered to me. I am told how brave I am, or asked how I manage, as if the alternative, becoming a depressive recluse, would be an understandable alternative to leading a happy and active life. I try not to let expressions of pity bother me, but I feel them and become self-conscious anyway. But since these expressions are solely directed at me, the disabled person, they feel logical. I have become accustomed to these feelings and am able to process them easily. It's when expressions of pity are directed toward my loved ones that I still struggle. When I am with one or both of my kids, I can feel those around me collectively holding their breath as though I might spontaneously worsen and accidentally injure myself or my children. I get a lot of looks as a visibly disabled mom, but most of the pity seems to be directed at my children, as though their existence is somehow far worse off than other kids their age because their mom is fragile, incapable, and disabled. My mama bear instincts come out here, because these transparent thoughts are, of course, preying on my worst fears. I do constantly worry that I am an inadequate mother, so when my kids are the recipient of pity through no fault of their own, it seems heartbreakingly unfair. Perhaps the most noticeable pity is the brand that my husband, Kyle, receives. When people see him grabbing my walker out of the truck, offering me a helping hand, or patiently assisting me in some way, they stare. They see a strong and handsome man helping a disabled woman. And when you add our kids into the mix, we are even harder to not notice. People might as well have their thoughts closed captioned. I can see them trying to figure out how someone like him ended up with someone like me. I can feel their pitiful stares and loaded looks. I can hear people whispering, "Man, he's a saint for sticking by her, even though she's disabled." The most ironic part is, they're right. He is a saint. Although I am the one physically going through FA, Kyle carries the heavy, burdensome weight of a life with FA right alongside me. This unfair disease is happening to him as much as it is to me. I'm thankful that he has thick skin and doesn't let the daily emotional grind of FA get to him. I'm fortunate that he doesn't notice most of the stares and whispers. I'm grateful that he carries even more than his fair share when the pity, and the circumstances that brought on this pity, are just too much for me to bear. Most of all, I am so incredibly blessed that he took his marriage vow seriously. Although neither of us had FA in mind when we promised to love and cherish each other in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, and for as long as we both shall live, he fulfills his part of that vow on a daily, if not hourly, basis. So, yes, Kyle is a saint for sticking by me through FA, because I quite literally wouldn't be standing today without him. And if looks of pity and my unending love and appreciation are the prices he has to pay for it, then so be it. All this to say, I love you, Kyle. Thank you for doing life with me. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich Ataxia. Today we will talk Finding Peace in the Inn by Kendall Harvey. One of the biggest blessings throughout my motherhood journey has been the Fearless Mom community. As a mom of a 4-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son, I have my fair share of challenges, joys, doubts, successes, fears, triumphs, and worries. Talking to other moms facing the same battles removes the shame and isolation I feel. Moms who are on the other side of my motherhood phases provide much needed perspective and helpful advice. Being a part of a community has made me a better mom and a better person altogether. Aside from my common and relatable motherhood struggles, I have health hardships that frequently rock my world. I have a progressively degenerative disease called Friedreich's ataxia that affects my energy and my ability to walk and talk, among other things. I use a walker full-time to help me get from point A to point B independently. Unfortunately, my walker is not always enough to keep me safely on my feet. Late last year, I broke a bone in my foot during an accidental stumble. Since I am not coordinated enough to maneuver with crutches, I had to depend on a wheelchair during my recovery. This stirred up a whole slew of feelings for me for several reasons. The main one is, life in a wheelchair is in my near future. FA is progressive, and while I can still walk assisted, walking will likely be an unsafe impossibility for me in about 5 years. The thought of getting an unwelcome preview of the life I am destined for, or speeding up this already heartbreakingly short timeline, was too much to bear. My heart felt just as broken as my foot, and my spirit was deflated. I shared my struggles with the wise, kind, empathetic, and empowering Fearless Mom team member, Julia Fortman, and she encouraged me with the most beautiful words. I pinned her message and referred to it daily during my recovery and often pray on it now. I pray that you find peace in the end. It is possible to fear the loss of independence and trust God's plan. You can grieve as your mobility decreased and have faith that God will carry you. You can simultaneously feel angry or discouraged that there is not yet a cure for FA and trust that God's timing is perfect. I sense that you are possibly trying so hard to stay positive and faithful that you are stiff-arming and maybe criticizing your raw emotions. They don't have to be separate. They can coexist. So, feel them. Speak them. Put them in your hand and notice them. All the icky feelings. Go all the way through them and then lay them at God's feet. And ask Him to supply you with everything you need. I pray today that you find peace in the end. Such beautiful encouragement. I pray that her words over this specific setback in my life can translate to a specific challenge you may be facing and that you can find peace. Motherhood is a lifelong calling. We will go through so many phases, experiences, events, milestones, and setbacks, and there is no one answer or quick fix. You figure it out as you go. That's why parenting is so often referred to as a journey. God did not intend for any of us to journey alone. We are built to thrive in a community. So, lean into yours and find peace in the end. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description.